There are people who can destroy your peace without ever raising their voice. They hurt you, disappear, betray you, lie to you, replace you, disrespect you, and somehow still leave you feeling like you are the one begging for answers. That is the dangerous part. Not the breakup, not the betrayal, not even the rejection. The dangerous part is when your mind becomes emotionally addicted to closure from the same person who wounded you. You replay conversations at 2 a.m., wondering what you could have said differently. You stalk their social media, looking for hidden meaning in quotes and pictures. You write long messages in your head, hoping one perfect sentence will finally make them understand your pain. But here's the truth. Stoicism forces you to face. Some people will never explain why they hurt you, because doing so would require them to confront who they really are. And many people would rather lose you than face themselves. The moment you understand this, your entire life changes. Because chasing closure from people who hurt you is like asking the thief to heal the wound after the stabbing. You are placing your emotional freedom into the hands of someone who already showed you they could mishandle it. Most people believe closure is something another person gives them. Stoics believed the opposite. They understood that peace is an internal decision, not an external reward. The reason so many people stay emotionally trapped for years is because they secretly believe the pain cannot end until the other person finally admits fault, apologizes sincerely, or explains everything clearly. But look at reality. How often does that actually happen? Sometimes the person who betrayed you moves on instantly. Sometimes they pretend nothing happened. Sometimes they blame you for reacting to the pain they caused. Sometimes they ghost you after years together, as if your existence meant nothing. And what destroys people emotionally is not just the event itself, it's the obsession with trying to make reality feel fair. Stoicism teaches that life is not designed around fairness. It is designed around truth, and the truth is this: a person's inability to love you correctly is not proof that you were hard to love. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn is that explanations do not always bring healing. In fact, sometimes explanations deepen the wound. Imagine finally getting that conversation you begged for. You sit down with the person who broke your heart, hoping for clarity, and instead they minimize your pain, twist the story, or reveal that they simply lost feelings. Now, instead of healing, you are carrying even more damage because you expected emotional wisdom from someone who already showed emotional immaturity. Stoics warned against depending on unstable people for emotional stability. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that people act according to their nature. A dishonest person will likely continue being dishonest. A selfish person will continue protecting themselves first. When you expect deep accountability from shallow people, you create your own suffering. This does not mean becoming cold or cynical. It means becoming realistic. Think about how many people lose years of their life emotionally negotiating with ghosts. They keep reopening wounds that should have been allowed to scar naturally. They keep rereading old messages, rewatching old videos, revisiting old places, hoping their pain will suddenly transform into understanding. But every revisit strengthens emotional chains. Your mind starts believing healing is somewhere behind you instead of ahead of you. This is why Stoicism places so much emphasis on detachment, not because emotions are weak, but because attachment to things outside your control eventually becomes torture. You cannot control whether someone apologizes. You cannot control whether they regret hurting you. You cannot control whether they suddenly wake up and realize your worth. But you can control whether you continue sacrificing your peace waiting for it. One of the most painful situations is when someone hurts you while pretending to love you. Those wounds cut deeper because your brain struggles to make sense of the contradiction. You think, if they loved me, how could they treat me like this? That confusion becomes emotional quicksand. You keep trying to solve the puzzle because your heart refuses to accept that love and pain sometimes coexist in unhealthy people. Stoicism teaches that actions reveal truth more than words ever will. Someone can say, "I love you," while repeatedly disrespecting you. Someone can promise forever while secretly preparing to leave. Someone can cry in front of you and still continue hurting you afterward. The Stoic mindset forces you to stop analyzing what people say and start observing what people consistently do, because patterns are truth. Repetition is truth. Behavior is truth. Another dangerous trap is trying to get closure from narcissistic or manipulative people. These individuals often benefit from your confusion. They enjoy keeping emotional doors slightly open because it gives them control over your attention. They may breadcrumb you with random texts months later. They may watch your stories but never speak. They may suddenly become nostalgic once you begin healing. And many people mistake this for love or regret, when in reality it is often ego, loneliness, control, or boredom. Stoicism teaches emotional discipline specifically because emotions without discipline can make intelligent people self-destruct. A person desperate for closure becomes easy to manipulate because they will accept tiny emotional crumbs as proof that reconciliation or understanding is still possible. That desperation can keep someone emotionally imprisoned for years. Sometimes closure is not a conversation. Sometimes closure is realizing that repeated disrespect was the answer. Think about the friend who only called when they needed something. The partner who kept lying after being forgiven multiple times. The family member who constantly humiliated you, then expected instant forgiveness because that's just how they are. Many people wait for one dramatic final betrayal before walking away. But Stoicism teaches that small repeated violations matter. Peace disappears gradually, not all at once. Emotional exhaustion usually comes from patterns, not isolated moments. And once you start respecting yourself deeply, you stop requiring endless evidence before protecting your peace. A lot of people are addicted to emotional explanations because they fear uncertainty. The human mind hates unanswered questions. It wants neat endings. It wants complete understanding. But Stoicism teaches something modern society rarely teaches. You do not need complete understanding to move forward. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is, "I may never fully understand why this happened, but I refuse to let confusion destroy the rest of my life." That sentence is power, because now your healing is no longer dependent on another person's honesty, maturity, or emotional availability. There are people listening right now who are secretly waiting for a text message that will never come, waiting for an apology that may never happen, waiting for someone to finally say, "You didn't deserve that." And because of this waiting, life becomes emotionally paused. You stop fully living. You stop trusting. You stop sleeping peacefully. You carry imaginary conversations in your mind every day. But Stoics understood something brutal about life. Waiting emotionally for someone who already abandoned your peace is a form of self-abandonment. You slowly betray yourself while hoping someone else finally chooses you correctly. One of the biggest mindset shifts happens when you realize closure is not about getting answers. It is about removing emotional dependence. The moment you no longer need the apology, explanation, or validation, you become free. Notice the difference. The pain may still exist for a while, but the emotional slavery ends. This is why some people appear healed, even without ever speaking to the person again. They stopped negotiating with reality. They accepted what happened fully, even if they hated it. Stoicism teaches acceptance, not because suffering feels good, but because denial prolongs suffering infinitely. Imagine someone cheats on you, and you spend the next 2 years trying to understand why. You analyze yourself endlessly. Was I not attractive enough? Was I too emotional? Did I work too much? Did I trust too much? Meanwhile, the truth may simply be that the other person lacked discipline, integrity, or emotional maturity, but wounded people often personalize another person's dysfunction. Stoics would call this irrational suffering. You are carrying responsibility for another person's character flaws, and this happens outside relationships too. Employees seek closure from toxic bosses who discarded them. Adult children seek closure from emotionally absent parents who may never change. Friends seek closure after betrayal within lifelong friendships. The details change, but the emotional trap remains the same. Believing peace depends on another person's transformation. There is also a hidden ego behind closure seeking that many people never discuss. Part of you wants confirmation that you mattered. You want the person who hurt you to fully understand your value. You want them to regret losing you. You want proof that your suffering meant something. That desire is human. But Stoicism asks a difficult question. Why are you allowing someone else to determine your worth after they already mishandled your heart? Why should your value rise or fall based on whether a confused person finally gets it? Your worth does not increase when someone regrets hurting you, and it does not decrease when they never apologize. Some people remain emotionally attached to pain because pain feels familiar. The chaos becomes part of their identity. They constantly revisit the betrayal because letting go almost feels like erasing the relationship itself. This is why some people unconsciously resist healing. Healing feels like saying goodbye permanently. Stoicism challenges this attachment by reminding us that clinging to suffering does not honor the past. It extends the damage into the future. There is nothing noble about emotionally bleeding forever over someone who chose to wound you repeatedly. And perhaps the harshest truth of all is this: some people know they hurt you deeply and simply do not care enough to fix it. That realization crushes many people because they expect conscience to work the same way in everyone. But Stoicism teaches that human beings vary greatly in wisdom, empathy, discipline, and morality. Some people genuinely feel remorse. Others only feel inconvenience when consequences affect them personally. The sooner you stop expecting everyone to possess your level of empathy, the sooner you stop being shocked by human behavior. The strongest people are not the ones who never get hurt. They are the ones who stop chasing people for emotional permission to heal. They stop begging for honesty from liars. They stop begging for loyalty from the disloyal. They stop begging for clarity from the confused. And slowly, their energy returns, their sleep returns, their confidence returns. Not because the past changed, but because they finally stopped reopening the wound, hoping it would become a different story. And in the end, the greatest closure you will ever experience is not hearing the words, "I'm sorry." It is reaching a point where their silence no longer controls your emotions. It is waking up one day and realizing you no longer replay the betrayal every hour. It is looking back at the pain without needing revenge, validation, or explanation to move forward. That is real power. Stoicism teaches that peace begins the moment you stop handing your emotional freedom to people who already proved they could not protect it. Because some doors in life are not meant to be reopened for answers. They are meant to be closed so your soul can finally breathe again. The truth is, many people spend years waiting for closure, while life quietly passes them by. They wait for the apology, wait for the text, wait for the regret, wait for the person who broke them to suddenly become emotionally mature enough to repair the damage. But if your healing depends on another person changing, then your peace is permanently rented out to someone who may never return it. The Stoic mindset says something different. It says, your healing begins the moment you decide that your future matters more than your unfinished pain, that your self-respect matters more than another conversation, that your inner peace is too valuable to keep sacrificing at the altar of someone else's emotional confusion. And maybe that is the lesson life has been trying to teach you all along. Some people enter your life not to love you forever, but to force you to finally choose yourself, to stop abandoning your own worth, trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. To stop chasing emotional breadcrumbs from people who only return when it benefits them. To stop confusing attachment with love. Because real peace does not come from finally getting the answers you wanted. It comes from no longer needing them. So if this message spoke to you, if you've ever lost sleep replaying betrayal, chasing closure, or trying to heal from people who never cared enough to repair the damage, then this channel is for you. Subscribe to Psychovest for more powerful Stoic insights on relationships, self-respect, emotional discipline, and mental strength. And comment below. I choose peace over closure. Sometimes that one decision can change the direction of your entire life.